Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Your Next 50. Ladies, we are here to tell you that it's your time. Be intentional with your choices and don't waste even one more day hiding in your stories. You can reclaim your personal power and be happy while doing it. And this podcast, we hope, will show you how. Now, welcome. One thing, if you're watching our video, I am here, but my lovely co-host Sylvia is not here today. She sends her regrets to all our listeners, but there is a wonderful new face on our screens today. And dear listeners, I'd like to introduce you to Meg from AIM Fitness. Welcome, Meg.
Thank you so much, Jenny. Really nice to be here.
So Meg is going to talk to us about fitness and being healthy at any stage of our life. And it was funny because just before we went on to record, we were talking about how we want to be intentional with our choices and how Meg talks a lot about making exercise fun, making exercise joyful, and fitting into your lifestyle. So, but for those of you that aren't on video, it's important kind of to set the stage here. Meg is younger than me. I'm just going to leave that floating in the air. But Meg, how did you get involved with fitness for, what do you call it? Do you call it fitness for seniors? Tell us how you describe yourself.
Yeah, so I would call it fitness for adults 50 plus or even older adults instead of the senior word. And it all started when I was really young. So I was 12 years old and in middle school. And my best friend at the time, her mother was working in a retirement residence. And she thought, you know what, let's get these little girls out of trouble, 12-year-olds, they can get into trouble. And let's teach them a little bit about the real world. So I started volunteering weekly with seniors. And I remember actually the first time I volunteered, we were playing bingo and doing some beanbag tosses. And I remember at first feeling very intimidated, thinking, oh my goodness, what do I say to this older person? I don't really know how to interact. I don't really know what to do. But right away, probably within the first few hours of being there, I felt so at home. I just felt like these people were so kind. They were so grateful to have me there. And really, this led me into a career working with older adults, which at the time I didn't know. So after that, whenever there were opportunities, high school and university, I volunteered at different seniors' residences and just really felt very comfortable around the older population. And because of that, I studied at Ottawa U. I took psychology and gerontology, knowing that I would work with the older population in some way. And at the time, I was a lifeguard and got decided to try out aqua fitness because that, again, one of my values I was saying earlier is fun. So I thought, that looks like a lot of fun teaching exercises in the pool. Let's try that. And then that ended up leading to another position teaching chair exercises for seniors. So I was teaching all through university, considered that to be my fun job and put that money aside for traveling. And then that led to a position working at a retirement residence, doing recreation and activities. So I did that for 3 years and loved it. Had so much fun taking the seniors all over. We did boat cruises. We went shopping and had so much fun.
That sounds awesome.
It was really great. I was like, how am I spending my days like this? This is great. But anyways, at a certain point, I realized, hey, you know what? I think I'm ready for a change. And I think that it's time to focus on fitness full time. Now, at the time, so this is almost just about 9 years ago when we're recording this. At the time, I didn't know anyone who owned a business.
Wow.
Entrepreneurship was not a thing like it is now. And the idea of going out on my own was this huge leap of faith. And I said, you know what, let's just try it out. We'll see. So at that point, I had lots of connections in the industry because of my experience in working years. So my strategy was to start teaching group fitness classes in condos all around the city. And then based on that, I would get to know people and they would often need extra help. Maybe they had a medical condition or had surgery or just needed a bit of extra personalized support. So I offered one-on-one personal training. So so I did that, stepped out, did that in 2013, and now it's been 9 years. of helping seniors and older adults in the Ottawa area and beyond now
It
too.
sounds like beyond. So I want to come back to the exciting things that are coming up for you, but I also I want to hop back to that. Were you a fitness, like, I think we have this concept that fitness people are fitness nuts. Like, are you one of those fitness junkies? Tell me about what your personal routine looks like, and does that map to the way you teach?
Yeah, for sure. So I've always been one of those people who's been very active. I love, hiking, biking, going for walks, going for nature walks as well with my dog. But something that really I think shines through in all my programs and how I connect with people is that you don't necessarily have to exercise for an hour at a time.
Okay.
You can see benefits just by doing 15 to 30-minute workouts. And that's been really freeing, both for myself and then for everyone that I
Mhm.
talk to and work with, because I
Mhm.
think something that holds a lot of women back is, well, I've got so many things on the go. I'm balancing so many balls in the air. I'm taking care of kids. There's family stuff. There's volunteering, work, whatever.
Mhm.
So it's hard to fit it in. So I find a lot of people, because of that, don't exercise and they don't get started. So I've coined the term snack on exercise.
Mhm.
And I like to encourage people to, maybe even do like 3 or 4 exercises, spend 5, 10 minutes during your day and taking a break,
Yeah.
and how beneficial that can be. And then often that leads into a bit more. So, for example, I now have an online fitness program, and one of my members who I was chatting with yesterday was telling me that when she got started, she was not exercising at all. So she, had done aerobics and things in the past, but during the pandemic hadn't done much. And so she started with 15-minute videos a few times a week, and now she's exercising every single day. And some days she's doing 2 videos back to back. So
Yeah.
that gives her more of a 45-minute workout. But, so I think that's somewhere to go and somewhere to expand to. But I think for most
Mhm.
of us in the way we live and our busyness, starting small and just kind of whetting your appetite, just starting is going to be really beneficial.
It's like the Tiny Habits book, right? Or the Atomic Habits book.
Yeah, it
Um,
really is.
it really is. So tell me about, there's a lot of myths, I think. Tell me about what an older body, see how I gracefully stepped around that senior word.
Mm.
We're going to come back to that. What does the older body need? Something that people might be surprised about?
Hmm. So I think what the older body needs is quite a few things, but one of it is more movement.
Okay.
I think we spend a lot of time sitting down, and whether that's at a desk, at a chair, on a couch, getting up and moving is really important. And what I work with people, as young as in their early 40s, and my oldest client is 102. So, and he's awesome. He just had his birthday last week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he lives in his own home, still is moving, exercising. But what I've seen as people get older, so, older people in their 80s and 90s, is often they say, I wish I had gotten started earlier.
Mm,
So, what I see is a lot of weakness in legs. So, getting up off the chair becomes harder, going up
yeah.
and down stairs, people are more out of breath, it just takes more out of them, their stamina is lower. And even upper body, especially for women.
Yeah.
Men tend to be often stronger in their upper body. For women, I
Yeah.
think it's important for us to use weights and resistance bands or our own body weight. But I do see that. So the weakness in the upper body, the strength just change, and even mobility and flexibility.
Yeah.
So even, thinking about going for a walk and, maybe stumbling, your balance isn't as good as it used to be, or it's a bit harder to go up those hills
Yeah.
like in the past.
That
Yeah.
that relates to me. I'm thinking about my parents and my in-laws, and I think many of our listeners have older parents who are very stubborn too. I just want to put that out there. Seniors can
Oh,
be,
yeah.
older people can be very stubborn. I remember watching my mother-in-law, who at the time was probably 85, step from a dock to a boat, and how incredibly difficult that was for her, and how I,
Mm,
at my age, took it for granted. Right. So
Mm,
I'm with you on the core muscles and the strength and the balance. I think, I don't know, how does our balance, I agree our balance changes. I'm not as, I play tennis a lot. I'm not as, my balance, my agility isn't the same as it was 20 years ago. So
mm.
how are those typical things? I'm guessing a lot of clients have that.
Yes, yeah, I see that a lot. Right now, fall prevention is my
Yes.
biggest topic. So I do a
Yes.
lot of presentations and now I'm doing a lot of weekly classes because, just working on your balance once is not going to do it.
Right.
So I encourage people to, stand on one foot when you're on the phone, or if you're doing the
Oh my gosh,
dishes.
what a
Yeah,
great
yeah. Yeah,
idea.
even doing the tree pose, right? So you can even have one foot on the leaning against the other foot. But doing things just throughout the day is going to really make a big difference. And really, I am all about habits. So
Right.
as you can tell, so if you do things regularly, it just becomes part of your everyday life, and then you're less likely to see those quick declines. But yeah, for like you were saying, just about having a lot of listeners who do have aging
Mhm.
parents, look at your parents and see, is that the health that I want to have when I get to that
Mhm.
age? And I
Mhm.
find that is a huge motivator. And I have a lot of people I work with right now who are saying, I don't want to end up like my parents. I don't want to have to move out of my home. I don't want to,
Yeah.
have limitations on travel and what I can do.
Yeah.
So that's a huge, huge motivator.
It's like a piggy bank, right? What you put in is what you get back out of it too, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's a great shift. I love looking at that,
Yeah.
investing in our health.
Yeah.
There's nothing but good that can come from
Yeah.
focusing on our bodies and on our health. Such a good
Well,
investment.
I certainly, I mean, I can say on my own personal front, if you've listened to this podcast, I play tennis. Someday I may play pickleball, but don't hold me to it. You never heard it on this podcast that I used the P word. But there's something about that sport for me that's a continuum. It's a lifelong sport. It keeps me social. It keeps me active. Tell me, I loved you used the phrase just before the call called the seasons of life. And I just love the sound of that. And your other core value about how do we make it fun, Meg? Because see, tennis for me is an exercise. It's just something I do. How do you make, I think we have a perception that exercise is supposed to be hard and we have to sweat. How do you make it fun?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is so true. I think, whether you grew up, being drilled or, having a drill sergeant coach of some sort, it's
Yeah.
true. We often associate, that we've got to work hard, we're going to be
Yeah.
sweating, and it's going to be painful. And then something else that holds people back is, well, I don't know what to do. So
Mm,
I want to do something, but I don't know what to do. So I might injure myself if I push myself too hard. So there's a lot of reasons we don't get started, and a lot of reasons that exercise just doesn't seem to be appealing. So I have four things I wanted to share on how to make fitness more fun. The first one is to dress the part. I think that sometimes we can wear these old shoes, old, workout gear and just not feel that great. And I was chatting with a foot care nurse yesterday about shoes, and we should be replacing our running shoes just about every year or year and a half,
yeah.
depending on how often and how much mileage you're getting on in your shoes. So treat yourself to a new workout top, to some new running shoes. So you feel good as you're exercising, because that can really, really help to just lift your spirits and make yourself feel like, oh, I'm investing in myself. I'm going to really take this seriously.
So
Um,
before you go on, I
mm,
love that you brought that first. And the last podcast we did, Sylvia and I, was all about you are worthy. And it was
mm,
all about this idea that buying that new top, making you feel a little bit better, might motivate you to get on and get out or go for a walk or what it is. So I love that you made that the first one. That's really
yes.
cool.
Yes, yeah, I think it's so important because as women, I think sometimes we don't always put ourselves first. And, this is from, you can be as young as in your 20s. And I see this in women who are in their 80s, who are still learning to put themselves first because we've been really programmed to take care of other people, put
Okay.
our needs last.
So those listeners, No, don't send me pictures of them, but do you have your sports bra from university? Because I know I still have mine. So, Meg, I am committing to getting some new sports bras here on the Great Point. Super important.
Yes, yes. I just did that myself. I went to Jamaica for a teaching vacation, and I was like, that's it. I need to
Yeah,
get some new sports bras. I'm treating myself. Yeah.
that's
And
amazing.
ladies, they're not very expensive, and
Yeah,
you feel really good in them. They make you
that's
feel great.
absolutely. So what's number two? I
Yes.
love number one.
Yeah, so the number two is to adjust your focus. And I think this is really important because quite often, if we have a goal such as weight loss, what happens is we often say, you know what, I want to lose 100 pounds. And I was just chatting with a woman who was saying that was literally her goal. She said, Meg, how long is it going to take me to lose 100 pounds?
Mm.
And right away, I could just feel, I could hear in her voice that there was a lot of pressure around that goal. She really wanted to lose that weight, but that was it. And we can set ourselves up for success or for failure if we have these really big looming goals and if we don't reach them. And let's be real, it's going to take a long time to lose 100 pounds. I really like looking at it as 1 pound at a time. That's how you're going to do it today. This week I'm going to focus on losing 1 pound. How can I do that? um, but So it's good to know where we're going to go. It's good to know that long-term vision, but at the same time, instead of focusing just on weight loss, if that's your goal, focus on how you want to feel. So
Mm.
maybe it's, I really want to feel more energized throughout the day. I really want to focus on looking at the food that I eat in a new way, instead of looking at food as a craving that I need
Right.
to indulge in or something I can't touch. Instead, look at it as this is an investment and this is fuel for my
Mm.
body, so that I have the energy to fill in the blank.
Yeah. This is
Um,
mindset work, Meg.
it is mindset work. Yes. Definitely. I would say that's maybe 50% of what I
Yeah.
do. And I love it. It's so fun because you realize like there's a lot that goes
Yeah.
into, whether it's weight loss or even just getting started, we can have a lot of blocks, a lot of things that
Yeah.
hold us back. So identifying what those blocks are and then being able to, twist
Yeah.
it around, rewrite it as an affirmation can be helpful
Yeah.
too.
I want to pick up on if you're my vintage, you remember participation in the schools from way back when. And there were sort of four stations, Meg. There was a run, there was a sprint, I forget the other ones, but there was push ups and sit ups in there. And it was sort of like this, it was all with the right spirit, I think. But the impact I found was that those who were already good at it got excellence and they got like shiny gold stars, and some other people that were bronzes or participation. It just reinforced how much they disliked exercise. I really
Mm,
wonder about the long-term effects of some of those things for people, because at my age, when now that it's a necessity to be active, you have to overcome all that. I'm crap at this. I'm no good at this. Everybody else is better than me. I can't even do a sit up to save my, why bother? I think that's it, eh?
yes, that's right. That's right. It
Yeah.
can hold people back.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
When
Um,
they call you, when that woman calls you and wants to lose 100 pounds, that must be a really, so for her to pick up the phone and call you, to me feels like a huge milestone. Is it?
It is. It is. I think, what I've seen is I've seen people who are ready and who are not.
Yeah.
And I think we all internally we know when we are ready. We're ready to actually make a change. Something I knew she was ready because we kept missing each other all week, and
Yeah.
she sent me email after email saying, "Oh, okay, sorry, I can't meet tomorrow. How about this time? How about
Right.
this time?" And I was like, "All right, this woman is ready." Because
Right.
quite often, you miss a call and you think, oh, well, whatever, I'll put it off.
Yeah.
It's not that important. So, yeah, so those who are listening, I do encourage you to tune
Yeah.
into yourself and ask yourself, am I ready? And am I ready to refocus on me? Maybe it's been a while.
Yeah.
Maybe it's, maybe it needs to look a little bit different. Maybe I just need to get started today because that's a big thing too.
If not
Yeah.
now, when?
Yes, that's right.
Right?
That's right. Yeah.
So we've got some new clothes. We've shifted our focus. What else?
Yes. Yeah, so something else you can do to make it fun is to focus on your environment. So, where are you exercising?
Mm,
So, I know a lot of people over the past few years are focusing on home workouts. So, maybe you're watching a video online, maybe you have your own routine that you like to do. But I think having our own like workout zone at home is really, really important. So right now, as we're chatting, I have a new home, a new office, and I am excited to make this into a beautiful space,
yeah.
both for me to dream and expand my business, but also to do my own workouts and to film my videos.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of a vision of what I want to create, but yeah, I'm just excited to have this beautiful space. So for some of you, it might mean lighting a candle, and before you do your exercise, reconnect with what's important to you. Why do you want to exercise? Why are you focusing on yourself? So maybe even getting a notebook, making that your
Mm,
fitness journal, and writing out, this is my why. This is why
yeah.
I'm putting myself first. This is what I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
And having your candle lit or having a really nice lighting can make a big difference when we're working out. And then just setting things up so that you've got your yoga mat, your
Easy.
weights,
Yeah.
and just it's ready to go. It's there, but you feel really good about that space.
Yeah, I'm as we were just talking, I don't know about the folks listening to the podcast, but you should my exercise room is crap. And I'm just thinking about, I haven't hardly spent any time in that or thinking about that, Meg. So I'm gonna take that one and start. I have a yoga mat. It's just full of ringette gear. I don't feel like there's enough room for me to do what I want to do. So yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great point. And you're right about the candle or I want to have a really good sound system. I find music makes a difference for me. So
Mm.
I'm always schlepping the speaker top and down. So why can't I get a speaker for my room? That's what's coming up for me.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. It's true. It's true. And yeah, and I think, I don't know about you, but if my house is like messy or if there's
Oh
dishes that need to be
God.
loaded, it's so hard to focus on
Oh,
other things. Like it's really tough.
it's so
So,
true. I wish it wasn't that way, to be honest.
mhm,
And I'm getting better, but I agree with you. And the fitness for me, my way of doing it, so everybody's probably different, but my way is I have to do it first thing. If I don't do it, I basically roll out of bed, grab my coffee on the way, and I do a Zoom call with my trainer. Actually, there's 4 sessions a week, but I'm not bad. I'm not beating myself up if I don't if I get to two, that's great. That's something I've come to
mm,
older, Meg. I used to be really hard on myself, and I'm really trying to embrace that mindset
mhm,
you're talking about is just doing something is great. Just
mhm,
get started. Don't
yes.
beat yourself up for what you didn't do.
Yes, yeah, that's it. That's it. No, it's so easy to get down on ourselves,
Yeah.
and often we can have these expectations that, well, oh, I've been exercising for this long, I should be further along, or I
Yeah.
shouldn't struggle in the mornings to get up. But goodness, like I still struggle with that
Mhm.
too, to be quite real with you. We all do. So I think it's about, rewarding yourself and being really happy with yourself when you do something, celebrate what's working.
Love it.
And then, to chat. So I have so many other things I could add,
Yeah,
but
I know. I can see.
but I think the fourth point, to go back to the seasons, how, you may be going through a different season of life. So maybe for some of the listeners, you have kids that are at home who need more attention from you. Maybe you're an empty nester now, kids are moved out. Maybe you are really refocusing on a career. Maybe you're retiring. You never know.
Yeah.
But it's good to reassess what your goals are, what you're going to do to stay active in each season. So I just this year I got married and we just bought a home, so we've moved. So I've had a lot of changes happen, and I've had to really
Yeah.
reassess what am I going to do to stay active, because I realize, as much as my hubby is really active and loves to go for runs with me, he's not a morning person.
Yeah.
So if I want to exercise in the morning, I've now learned I need to set my alarm half an hour before he gets up. So
Yeah.
that way I can fit it in without the expectation that we're going to do it together, or being upset that, well, it didn't happen because you ran out of time. But I've had to readjust because I was living alone before, and it was easy just to say, oh, I feel like doing it here, or doing it now.
Yeah.
But like you say, I think morning is such a good time to start off your day with your workout. So not only will you feel good about getting it done, because I know a lot of us high achievers want to, we feel good. Oh, I achieved something today. Check it off the list. I did my workout. Feel excited.
A little
But
dopamine hit. A little
yes,
dopamine.
yeah, but that's it too. We also have a rush of adrenaline, and we have those happy hormones as well when we exercise. And studies show that we are more likely to be able to focus better and to make better decisions when after exercising as well. So when you look at it from that perspective, it's another motivation to get that workout in first thing.
100%. Could you speak a little bit about the use of weights well, I think a lot of older folks are worried about hurting themselves, or they have, like my mom has osteoporosis, for example, or they have diabetes or any kind of underlying heart conditions. What's your advice to them? I think that's often a barrier to knowing where to start or with the right person. What advice would you have?
Yeah, definitely. So I've always worked with people with those conditions, and there are certain things you should do and shouldn't do. So if you do have osteoporosis, you do want to be careful about any side bending movements, any twisting of the spine. So what I'd recommend, anyone who's listening with yourself or parents, is really to encourage yourself to go slow and to really listen to your body. So again, this is something we really want to get to know ourselves, right? We want to get to know what is too much and what is not enough. I used to work with this gentleman. He's in his 60s, and as we would exercise together, he would be talking a mile a minute, and I'd see him swinging his arms, and he would just, really be focusing on talking, but not on what he was doing. And there were many times I'd have to say, okay, hold on, let's stop for a second, and follow me. Let's go at the pace that I'm doing. So, so it is easy to be distracted,
Oh,
and
Meg, that's totally me. I could totally see me doing that.
Yeah, and it's easy, right? We're like, oh, okay, I'm here, I'm doing this, and I'm exercising at the same time. But if we're not really focusing on the movement or the muscles that we're activating, it is easy to pull a muscle, and then that can be really discouraging. And often we think, oh, well, I guess I'll have to take time off. I better not do anything else because I'm injured.
Exactly that, Meg.
Yes, yeah. No, I can talk about a woman I work with who she experienced some hip issues, hip pain, and because of that, she wasn't able to do much. But what she told me is, Meg, I am doing your upper body workouts because I realize I cannot afford to lose upper body strength while I'm recovering from my hip. So I think quite often, and I know I'm not alone in this, but it's quite often we have excuses, right? Oh, well, I hurt my foot, now I can't exercise. Well, who's to say you can't sit down and do exercises? So, and I have another woman I've worked with, she has a bad shoulder, and same thing, she's going for physio, but she said, well, I can still do squats. I can still go for walks. I can still do lunges. So so I think when we really, it starts with our mindset. When we change our mindset and say, you know what, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this because I want to feel good, because that really happens. But I have this goal. I want to live as healthy as I can as I'm in my 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. And having that perspective really can help you to keep going, even if there are setbacks.
Quality of life, Meg.
Yes, yeah, quality of life, 100%. Yes, yeah.
Just as we close, I have two questions. One is, and maybe this isn't fair, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Describe to me, who's your favorite client? Who you must get a real kick. You must get to know these people really well. Can you share with us some of the personalities you get to work with?
Oh, I'd love to. Right away, I'm going to share my client, Jack. So he's the one who's 102.
Yes.
And he started exercising with me when he was 100, and his sons, so they're neighbors. He's neighbor to my parents. His son said, well, you can meet with him. He's never really exercised, but if he's up for it, go ahead. So we had a coffee, and I showed him a few exercises. And for him, he said, you know what, Meg, this makes sense. Because I was explaining, we're going to do sit to stands, we're going to do squats because this will help you get out of your chair easier, help you to go up and down the stairs easier. Oh, that makes sense. We're going to do some stretches because I know you've got a lot of cabinets. You have to reach high and reach things down. That makes sense, he kept saying. So his philosophy, and I love this because he has said, you know what, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it right. So I gave him a notebook and wrote down, these are the exercises we're doing with pictures, and then wrote down the day, every day of the week. And I see him twice a week. And what I look for in that book every week is, did you do your check marks? Did you do your workout today? And my goodness, it's almost been 2 years, and the majority of these dates have been checked off.
Crazy,
it's been amazing. It is crazy. So I've just seen, he's like the perfect example of someone who just gets it. He gets the importance of it. He gets that this is so beneficial for him. And because of that, he's committed and he's gone all in. So that's been really fun. Go Jack, go. And he is full of puns. He is, I am constantly laughing. He's always making these jokes. And it's, we have a lot of fun. We chat and laugh a lot. So he's one. And then another awesome client, she's in her 80s. And here's another example of someone who's pushed through, because she was working with me and then fell and broke her arm. Went to physio for a number of months and then came back to work with me. And since then, she is back on the golf course after having to take the past year and a half off. She's been golfing since she was a teenager. And again, she easily could have said, you know what, maybe my time has come. Maybe it's time to stop. My arm can't get better. But she has this positive outlook on life that's just so inspiring. And she said, you know what, I want to get back to the golf course. That's where my community and friends are. And she's back. So it's been so exciting to see, again, that, she wants to do these exercises because she sees that it improves her balance and improves her golf game. So it's pretty amazing to see this dedication. Pretty amazing.
Dedication to self. So that's an example of 2 clients, but now you're going to have a platform to reach a whole bunch more clients. Tell us about your new opportunity.
So very exciting. So I partnered with Rogers TV, and this was a big dream of mine, is to reach more people. I have something really important is impact, to know that I'm impacting and helping others. So I connected with Rogers TV and they said, well, you know what, we'd love to have you on. And it looked like it would be a weekly segment. So I went into the studio and filmed some episodes. And all of them are workouts designed for adults 50 plus. And, they can be done for anyone, really. You can benefit in your 30s or younger too, and even older. But anyways, they have decided to show my segments every single day of the week, Monday to Friday. So you can exercise with me at home.
What time? If we just Google Rogers and Meg Stickl, can we find the times or?
Yes. So you can Google Rogers TV. The name of the segment is Fit Over 50 with Meg.
Fit Over 50 with Meg. I love it.
Yes. So it's 30-minute workouts. I've put together a huge variety. I know a lot of people like cardio, so I've put together some HIIT workouts, lots using weights and resistance bands. And then I do have a few on the floor as well. Okay. And those who don't like going on the floor, you can always do them in bed. But it's, a nice variety, stretches, lots of cardio, lots of strength and balance as well. So it's so fun.
Well, congratulations. I think that is I love the focus on the dream and making it happen. I really commend you, and I can't wait to hear where you go, Meg, and what's next for you. There's so much out there for you and for your business, and congratulations on a new partner, a new house. It's a very exciting time in your life.
Oh, thank you, Jenny. Yes, it is. It is lots of excitement, and I feel the same way. Excited to see where everything goes.
Yeah. So how can people connect with you, learn more about you? Tell me more. I've just put up the website, activitiesinmotion.ca, all one word, no hyphens, no nothing. But is that the best way, Meg?
Yes, yeah, connect with me on my website. Those of you who are looking to chat about your health, I do 15-minute complimentary health chats. So if
Right.
you want advice or if you want to know a little bit more about my programs, then we can definitely chat. And then I'm also constantly filming new videos for my YouTube channel. So if you are wanting to have a look at, what's Meg's
Yeah.
style? Is this something I could do? A lot of my videos on YouTube, they're all free. They're 5 to about 20 minutes in length. And some are more focused on, like the best 3 exercises for your core. And there's others that are like full workouts using
Okay.
weights. So a nice
And
variety
and
there.
how do we find your YouTube? Is it your name or is it Activities in Motion?
Yeah, it's my business name, AIM Fitness. So AIM Fitness Activities in Motion. Or if you do AIM Fitness Ottawa, that will pop up as well.
So we can kind
Yeah.
of like test drive you. We can test drive your exercises and kind of learn more about your style. And I think there's a comfort
Mm,
level, right? We need to know, like, and trust the people that we put our fitness hands.
hmm.
When I hand you over my health, that's a big level of
Yes.
trust. Or wanting to lose 100 pounds. I just keep going back to that phone call and what the responsibility on your side of when someone calls at that point.
Yes, it is. It is. And every time someone reaches out, I think that is so amazing because
Yeah.
it really does show, I'm
Yeah.
ready to focus on me, which is huge. It is huge. Yeah. So I really,
Mhm.
I really commend those who are at that stage. And if you're not, maybe you're listening today and you think, you know what, this is interesting information,
Mhm.
not quite there. I have other priorities. That is okay too. That is okay
Totally.
too. But for those of you who are there, focus on the snacking on exercise. So, and even if it is getting up, I was reading something just yesterday saying that we're most focused when we work for an hour and get
Mhm.
up and take a break for 15 minutes. That's more effective than just pushing through the full day, full 8
Yeah,
hours.
that's hard to do. So I'll take
It
that one to
is.
heart. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Try it out.
so much. Well,
Yeah.
listen, Meg, thank you so much for your time. On behalf of Sylvia and myself, you've been super generous with your ideas and your thoughts and this concept of making exercise fun again. Thank you for repositioning that for all of our listeners. I do hope some of you will get in touch with Meg. Every week we have a new episode for our listeners. Follow us along on Instagram at Your Next 50, or you can also connect with us one-on-one. My email is jenny@chavender.com. That's Chavender like lavender. And we've also been working on a top 10 book list. So if you'd like to get the Your Next 50 favorite top 10 books, happy to do that too if you send us an email. And without further ado, Meg, have a great day. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Jenny.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.